Welcome. This is Recidiva. I'm sharing a recording of a casual Skyrim playthrough using a mod list I built. My profound thanks to all the mod creators who have made this game a crowdsourced treasure. I hope you enjoy. Here's at the Oblivion Gate at the lower level of the Daedric Exhibit Hall after unlocking the Champion of All. I don't know if I'm the Champion of All, but let's go check it out. Okay, I think the Daedric Hall is in East Exhibit Halls, but I might have to check that out. Now, I know I have collected a lot of the Daedric artifacts, but I don't know if I have this specific thing for the Daedra. Okay. Okay, appears near the Oblivion Gate. Okay. I don't, whatever it is, I haven't done it yet. Okay, there is Shield of the Curator. Armory storage on the lower level of the armory after unlocking Spelunker. So we'll go check there. But look at this. Isn't this cool? Look at all those Daedric artifacts. This is awesome. And they've absolutely added more too. Why aren't Vermina's robes behind a little thingy? So, I have the don't I have the Augment Infinitum? Oh, I'd need to make a replica because I read it. Alrighty. But very cool. Look at all these displays. Armory. It sounds like I took something. Okay, armory storage is here. I don't know if it appears at it or what. But anyway, look at how cool this is. All of the weapons and armor filling in along with the banners for the places. I mean, it is really cool. This is Dawnstar Guard armor. Apparently I don't have those. But yeah, I think that's awesome. Okay, it says at the storage. I'm going to search storage, but it looks like I haven't completed this. Nope. Okay.
Huh. Always thought it would be bigger than that.
So, alrighty. There is... Okay. I don't remember the name of the other ones, but we do have the Fafnir. And I'll check out the other ones, but I'm still missing... And I might end up not being able to complete some of these just because it does appear that much of the content is bugged. Okay, so here is where Mini Fafnir goes. Nice. Okay. Okay, there's Cloak of the Curator, Shield, Blade. Okay, I'm gonna look those up. But I'm actually also gonna take... Okay, I'm gonna take this, the Orient and Patero, because that might be the reason why I can't complete the quest. Cloak. Okay. If I've earned any of these, I should be able to make replicas. So let me just go look at the replica station instead of looking them all up individually. So if I'm right, I should be able to make a mini Fafnir replica. I can. Okay. Good. And yeah, there's no curator replicas, so I don't have them yet. Okay. Okay, this is odd because I'm not sure if you store the replica that it will show up in the house, but I want to keep the replica with me. I mean, I want to keep the main one with me and display the replica. Let's see if that works. But usually you have to place things yourself here, and it doesn't look like you can choose between... Okay, let's see. The adventures. Story time with Orion. Let me see if I can activate that because I picked the book back up. It's sending me that way, and no, but we don't want that. Something in the miscellaneous has reactivated. I'm not sure what. Let's go find Orion, see if he'll read me a book. I believe I already read it. But okay, yes. I found this storybook in the library. Do you know anything about it?
Oh, my yes. This was published as a cautionary tale for students during my days as a teacher. As with all good stories, this one does have a grain of truth. Would you like me to read it to you?
Yes, please.
Let's go to the library where it's a bit more comfortable.
Okay.
Amazing.
You have something to say, dog? Something on your mind?
You've been a good friend to me. That means
I would like to
something.
get past here. Okay. Hey, Eggleman. Okay, I'm just gonna sit and wait.
Real.
What? While sat in this chair, all recorded books from the library can be added to your inventory. Use the card catalog on the lower level of the library to update this list. Once you have finished reading, these copies will be removed. Would you like to read from the library collection? Oh, wow. I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna see how this works. Weird. Okay, I didn't know anything about this chair, but okay. I'm gonna read Sir Gesto's journal. My travels have finally come to an end. After many years of traveling Tamriel far and wide, avoiding bandits and beasts, wars, plagues, and horrid storms or sweltering sands, I now found myself confined to this place. I barricaded myself into this cell, which will end up as my tomb, I fear. I hear the dead lurk through the halls, and the wails of the angry specters echoing through the corridors. I occasionally pass my hollow cage and glance my way, but make no efforts to enter, if they even could, that is. I've run out of food, have no source of warmth, and the water that lies at the floor of this place is fouled with the touch of the dead. I have precious little time, and I would rather end it all now than wait for these foul creatures to finally overtake me. If anyone reads these final thoughts, take my cloak and protect it well. It was the prize of a long life of churn. Oh, Jesto, so Jesto. Letter from Kaidan. Zelaya, found these and thought it could be a pretty useful thing to have in your pack. Always handy to keep a few in easy reach just in case you need to tie something down. I got rope? I don't know. I'll have to start not looting that tent and then see what is actually in the chest. This is... okay. This is interesting. All right, I don't know what just happened.
Now I'd love to have a home that looked like that painting in the hallway.
Okay, here comes Orion.
Yes?
Once upon a time,
What is
there lived a wise Altmer named Aryan. He was so wise that he taught at the most important school in
Yes?
all of Tamriel.
What is it?
Aryan had many students, but the bravest and most curious was a bossmer named Patero.
I could just
One day, while studying in the library, Patero found an ancient map written in a language he had never seen before. Recognizing how old the language was, Patero asked Aryan to translate it for him.
You ask me.
Aryan, after careful study, gave Patero the following instructions. Turn to the left where the path crosses the river. Where Nirn's jagged teeth protrude, tread not on softer ground. When tunnels turn and twist, turn away from the false light. Leave the eggs undisturbed. Dreaming of the treasure he might find, Patero gathered everything he would need for the expedition. He gathered torches, lockpicks, a sturdy backpack, a dagger, his favorite pickaxe and shovel, and some snacks, of course. The next morning, Patero set out along the route marked by the map. After a few hours, his path crossed a river. Noting this connection to the instructions in his trusty journal, he continued along the left path. Sometime later, Patero came to a field of giant rocks and mossy soil. Between him and the entrance of his destination, a large, foreboding cave. Remembering his instructions, Patero carefully hopped from rock to rock, taking care not to touch the moss. A few steps from the cave, Patero slipped, and his foot fell firmly on a patch of moss. He quickly stepped back, but not before the moss released a cloud of foul-smelling but otherwise harmless gas. Laughing at himself for taking the instructions so seriously, Patero continued on. Patero entered the cave, dreaming of the treasures within. He walked for what seemed like days, and eventually came to a fork in the tunnels. One way looked straight and easy to pass through. It was faintly lit
Oh, I
by a
have an
bit of
animation
glowing
of
rock.
reading while I sit here.
The other path was pitch black,
Oh.
but from the light of his torch, Patero could see that it could be crossed. But it was treacherous. Remembering how harmless the moss had been, Patero decided to see where the path with the glowing rocks went. He walked quickly along the even, brightly lit path and almost didn't notice the slight downward slope. Before he knew what was happening, Patero had tumbled into a lake so still that it looked just like the floor of the tunnel. But with the first ripple of disturbance, a horrible giant tentacle emerged from the bottom of the lake and attacked. After fighting off the aggressive tentacle with his dagger, Patero ran all the way back to the entrance of the glowing tunnel. He stopped to rest for a moment and ate the last of his snacks. He thought about turning back and getting more snacks, but feeling that he was so close to his prize, he decided to press on. After hours of carefully navigating the pitch-dark path, he came out into a large circular room filled with nests. While there were no creatures to be seen, each nest had a gleaming pile of tasty-looking eggs. Exhausted from all the exercise, Patero built a small fire out of some of the nest twigs and hungrily eyed the eggs. He knew the instructions said not to disturb them, but he was so hungry that he couldn't help himself. Thinking whatever creatures they belonged to wouldn't miss just one, he made a delicious fried egg. As he was finishing, he began to hear a scratching sound, followed by a chitter, then another, and another. He had just enough time to hide himself behind one of the nests before a swarm of angry dreg flooded the cavern. "Damn bugs!" he muttered, keeping himself concealed. Meanwhile, back at the school, Aryan had noticed that Patero was missing from class for several days. Worried for his safety, he set out that afternoon to try and find him. Remembering the map and its instructions, Aryan turned left at the river, hopped over the rocks, and carefully navigated the pitch-dark path, stopping just before the crowd of angry bug-like dreg. Fearing the worst, Aryan drew his sword, Adrasorn, and summoned a ball of flame with his other hand. Within minutes, what was left of the horde of nasty dreg had fled, and the rest were in charred bits on the floor. Patero sheepishly came out of hiding and confessed to not following all of the directions. After a bit of hunting, the pair finally found the treasure buried within the largest nest. Unfortunately, being a book, it had been somewhat singed by Aryan's spirited defense. All they could make out was part of the title, Full Guide. Disappointed, Aryan and Patero brought the book back to the university to see if it could be magically repaired. Patero swore then that he would always follow directions to the letter in the future. And so, he did. Well, that was quite nostalgic. And there was an important moral in the story that I hope you have taken to heart. If you would ever like to hear it again, bring me the book and I'll be happy to read it.
Aw. Okay. Oh, the book disappeared. Is it back in my inventory? Okay. I'm not really sure that that chair did anything, but that's cool. I'll have to play around with that more. Let's see the rare and dangerous books in here. Filling in. Okay, so here I can make an Ugma Infinium replica. I need a Deidre heart. Okay, yeah, I can come back with materials and make those. Alright, so we're still figuring out how stuff works.
If you would like a memento from your visit to the museum, there's a small gift shop downstairs across from the armory.
What? There's a small gift shop downstairs across from the armory? I know... What? Hold on. Now, I know there used to be an add-on that had, like little plushies and stuff, but they were only inventory items. There were little, like, Patera dolls and Orion dolls and stuff like that, which was adorable, but there was no place to display them. And the coding wasn't the best. Let's see how things have changed. Phases of Joan and Jode Moon. That's cool.
Not bad. Reminds me when I first started smithing.
Hall of Wonders, Armory, gift shop. Okay, thank you. Look at this! Oh my god, yes! There are all the dolls.
Kind of scary.
Victoria dolls, Madras dolls. Okay, yeah, this used to be a separate building, and I took the, I took that all out. Oh wow, look at this! That's so cool! This is adorable. Dragonborn Gallery commemorative mug. That would be cool if I could use that in my animations. Look! So you can buy fossils and bone fragments. Oh, this is awesome. Replicas of the... Okay, so they add content. This is awesome. I want a Dragonborn Gallery commemorative mug. Oh, no, don't fall, babies. No. Wow, oh my god. That was unpleasant. I can't take a little Eggleman, but oh, look how... Okay, that's awesome. Wooden skull of corruption, wooden rueful axe, wooden Maroon's razor. Ah! Okay, since this stuff is already displayed here, I don't need to take it, but yeah, this is awesome. I love it. So next time I play the game, I'll come in here and see that things are... I'm just gonna take this. No? Oh, let me...
Look. This is a very
It's still in my
exciting
inventory.
moment.
This is... I am so happy with this. Okay. That's good. Above is the visage of Morehouse. Okay, I am so happy. Okay, that's one of the raised stones. There's a raised stone here, and the one that I showed you over here. I know their locations, I just have not been able to complete the quest. And there's one here. I think you're supposed to be able to hit them all. Yeah, it used to be here. But I've never been able to, like, trigger or do the quest properly, so... Alright, I am learning. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna check my miscellaneous... Okay, yeah, I'm not. I've checked that enough. I'm going to do some offline research at some point once I'm down to just mostly these quests and see what I can do. It just bugs me that this guy is like shifted this way. What are you shooting at? Why are you shooting at knowledge? Or the staircase? Isn't it much more obvious that he should be... I don't know how. Anyway, I hope they fix that with the patches. Okay. I am very happy with this. That's very cool. Okay. Alright, I'm going to Falkreath. So it says that the Fafnir Teddy can discover unique cards. Now, considering
Can I get you something?
Good to see Skyrim.
that I still don't have a deck, I don't know if you need Fafnir in your inventory to find those cards. We'll see. Who sees me? Is it a dragon? Yo, I'm at just as much risk. Ooh, lunar dragon. That's cool. Okay. I'm at just as much risk for killing guards that jump in front of my arrows when I'm in town as I am for killing them. For killing a dragon. Okay, yeah, I really like the sweep jobs. They are not buggy. Sometimes you just have to steal some extra stuff in front of the stuff. Ooh, I escaped the dragon. Good. I need to go into the Chuanzel. It should be clear, but we'll see. Take a nap. Read some books. Hug my mini-map Fafnir while I sleep. Song of the Iskilderman. Translated 3E to 13, Athenian monks of old Antha. 50 nights from home I last awoke, upon a sky-flung cliff in Hjalmarch Hold. When my flesh had died and gone to ground, my vision went on from body unbound. Winking there in the vale whence I came, this dead man's eyes saw pale flame, where men the same who took life away sung high their battle glory and praise. Wafting went I, a shade or a white, who stoke pines pitched ink of night. Ere I come upon the pyre burning throng, I heard carried on wind their song. Sing high and clear, bandsmen born of sky, let Sovngarde hear and join our cry. These honored dead shall blood upon the fen, These honored dead shed blood upon the fen, ending orc and elf and traitor men. Your spirit went unto and filled their heart. You sped them to glory. Hail, spirit Wolfheart. Then oil from urns fed greedy flames, burning what few my legion and I slayed. Wordlessly they chanted then until dawn. Every flake of ash gathered ere they marched on. Swept along unseen, so too went I, meekly haunting these children of the sky. Tirelessly they went over hearth and hill. Exhaustion seemed only to spur them still. Unflagging they went, a whirl of rage, soon finding our camp bloated with prey. My dead heart ached, for I knew men within, doomed, never knowing how close was their end. Again the gnawed chests swelled up in refrain. I screamed unheard, I wept with horror plain. Hear us, our ancestor, Ash King Ysmir, honor this warband as we to glory repair. Those dead to whom you spoke and heard, we bear them upon us, your valor conferred. And so it was, so the man each was smeared with ash of a brother's bone, blood, and beard. These ashen brutes, the Iskildi men, set to a gruesome task, each bowstring bent. I bellowed then, a cry of desperate rage, a futile howl among those men, an empty page. Yet one elder turned and unblinking stared into the vapor soul of me, his nostrils flared. He bellowed ancient words, his beard aflame, and my vision fell away. Peace at last came. Yikes. Songs of Skyrim, compiled by Gerard Germain. Okay, this is Ragnar the Red. Okay, these are the songs we all know. And then he added, there's a further edition that adds another song. Okay. Songs of the Return, Volume 7. Tale of the Jorvaskr. When at last the rightful claim of Sarthal had been retaken, driving the murderous elves back to their lofty cities, did great Ysgramor turn and let loose the fearsome war cry that echoed across all the oceans. 500 who yet stood joined in the ovation for their victory, and the lament for their fallen peers. It was said to be heard on the distant and chilling green shores of Atmora, and the ancestors knew their time had come to cross the seas. As the reverberations echoed out and drowned in silence, all looked to Ysgramor, who bore the blessed Withrod, for his next commandment. With his lungs that bellowed forth the fury of humanity, he bade them continue their march, that the devious mare might know the terror they had brought on themselves with their trickery. Go forth, he roared, into the belly of this new land, drive the wretched from their palaces of idleness, oblige them to squalor and toil, that they would see their betrayals as the all sin against our kind. Give no quarter, show no kindness, for they would not give nor show you the same. Our great forebear gave this order as he did not yet understand the prophecy of the twin snakes, that he would be fated to die before seeing the true destiny of his line. Hearing this, the circle of captains gathered each their crews unto themselves. From here, they decreed, they would go forth. Let each ship's band make its own way, seeking their fates to the open sun. A night spent in feasting, the oath of the companions was sworn anew with each of the 500, so they still named their count in honor of the shields that were broken at Sarthal, swearing to act as shield brother and shield sister to any of the Atmoran line, were their fates to ever again entwine. As the red hands of dawn stretched from the east, so broke the 500 companions of Ysgramor, setting about their journeys, sailing now across the land with waves of stone and crests of trees flowing under their footed hulls. The first to break from the grounded fleet was the crew of the Jorvaskr, who had been formed of Ysgramor's closest friends. Their captain was known as Jeek of the River, so called by the Harbinger himself from their youth's past in glory. When assembling their glistening hull, he sought out the labors of Menro and Morwa, who now bore the native timbers across the new land of Tamriel. Among their fiercest were Tisnal, who was twice named, and Ter, his twin and shield-bearer, whose girth was never spoken of to his face. There were others, too, in their band, Mexim the Walker, Brunel, who fought with his offhand, and Just the Smiler. These and others were sworn to Jeek, and they pushed forth into the shadows where yet the sun had not reached. Southward they went by beast and by foot. Elves they found, though none remained to tell what those battles entailed. The numbers of the Jorvaskr never faltered, so shrewd were they in battle, with minds as sharp as their blades. Once, as the sun beat from its high home, Jonder the Tiny, the one who ran ahead, came over the hill to tell what was seen. Amidst a vast plain, his eyes had met a monument of a bird, whose eyes and beak were opened in flame. When his brothers and sisters crested the hill, they too saw its glory, but they were afraid, for no elven settlement could be seen to the horizon. But this is not seemly, said Cluet, who went by Loat when hiding his face. I don't know what that means. I guess he didn't want people. You know, if things already have 17 names, there is no necessity of introducing a new character and then saying they had a new name also. And why would you hide your face? Is not this wide land fit for harvest? Why have not the elves, vile to their core, seemed to exploit and tame it? They asked of their 11 captives, for they hadn't many, what they found unfit about these plains. Yet even the captives, who still bore their tongues, could say nothing of the valley. They looked with fear at the winged colossus, and from their babblings did the warriors of the Jorvaskr learn that it was older than even the elves themselves. Of those who brought it solid from its mother stone, nothing could be said, but it was known to drive a magic, almost as old as Nirn itself, some remnant of the gods' efforts to render a paradise in Mundus before the shattering of Shore. This first of many, this crew of the Jorvaskr, heathens and ancestors to us all, feared no stories or gods. Indeed, if there was something the elves feared, they would have it for their own. Thus began the labors, once more, of Menro and Manwy, whose eager hands again laid to the Atmorn wood what had borne them all across the sea. Okay. And what was their ship? Okay, that makes sense. They transformed their ship, which is why Jorvaskr looks like an upside-down ship. Okay. And what was their ship became their shelter, as this valley became their purview, until the end of all their days. Thus began the building of the great city, circled by the running of the White River, as brought forth by these beloved of Ysgramor, yet but 22 of the glorious 500 companions. Where is that bird thing, then? Okay, 2 Nutrilenzo. Which is huge, by the way. So, yeah, it's a good thing I took a nap. Pretty water. Thank you, Shades of Skyrim.
Godlike White Mane is in a better place.
Is there any place better than Sovngarde? Yeah.
What do you need?
I don't know if the, okay, let's see, 4, not 3, or 4. Chica. Oh, eat some food. I don't know if the spiders have respawned. If so, we're just probably going to sneak past them. Or if all the Falmer and the druid, sorry, the Dwemer defenses have respawned. We'll just see. Imagine at least the spiders are still here. But when last we left the Chuanzel, the Falmer and the Dwemer Guardians were duking it out. Considering that was probably 6 months ago in game time. Whoa, oh, that was creepy. What the fuck? I don't like that. Eee. New stuff. Ew, I walked into it. Blah. Brain is not doing the ace for the chart dance. Why is your corpse still here? Completely empty. Ugh, I don't like that. Ugh. I also checked out to see if I could integrate the new Bard's College creation. Oh, they're still taking it out. Okay. But I don't think I'm going to. I watched a brief video on it. The reviews are relatively. This is okay, but there are some problems, and it's difficult to watch YouTube reviews because some people are paid to say this is amazing, I loved it. But which reminds me, there's an old Saturday Night Live skit. That I hear in my head when I watch some of these reviews, but it's supposed to be an ad giving reviews for a show put on by a hypnotist. So all the people say is, it was much better than Cats. I am going to see it again and again, which is what I hear in my head. Okay, I need. I'm not. This is not helpful. I need clairvoyance. I tried. So some of these, yes, I hear it was much better than Cats. I'm going to see it again and again. But it appears as though some of the creations do not permit dependencies, which means I will never, and it will never be available, that I am able to, update the character models. At least this is from my understanding of it. I can't update character models. I can't. There are some patches. Okay. It's not helping me. Yeah, this is not where I should be going. So I'm gonna try getting to higher ground and trying again. I should be able to do this while pretty much stealth. So I was looking to see if I could use that mod and if anybody had done any. Anybody had done any NPC overhauls on it, but it looks like not only did they not, but they can't. So I'm not going to be able to have high poly heads or hair replacers or anything like that, and without that, I'm not doing it. Oh my god. Okay, so I am lost, and And unfortunately, if I try to zone in somewhere, it's just going to send me straight back out. Come on, you don't see me. I'm going to try zoning in somewhere on the top deck and see if I can get a better read on where I'm going. Otherwise, I might do this. I cannot find my way through Nichuanzhou. It is not going to happen. To one item somewhere. I'm going to purposely get lost in here a little bit to see if me zoning out and zoning through somewhere else gets me somewhere else. Also, the creation that they're charging like $10 for this thing, which, considering the original game was like $40, I think that's kind of excessive. Not that I can't pay it, but I don't wanna if I can't mod it. It looks like they are purposely making it unmoddable. Why you would do that? Is a money grab and kind of an insult to all of the mod creators who have made their stuff free. So it is likely not meant to be. Wow, look at all of Nichuanzhou that I've never actually done. So very likely, unless I actually, yeah, it just brought me back out. Okay, I'm not doing this. That's unfortunate, but I'm not going to be able to find a thing without a quest marker in a ginormous dungeon. Okay. I'm gonna port to Rowan Manor and handle the Thieves Guild. So it looks like I only have 2 more sweep jobs. I'm probably going to do those, and then it will lead me on a couple other quests to rebuild the guild, but we're getting close to qualifying to rebuild the guild. Now keep in mind, for each one of these quests that I'm doing, I think in the base game it's 5, and they're random. So this was the point at which I became completely exhausted in my legendary vanilla playthrough, because with survival and no fast travel. Because let's see, for each city, okay, so the next one I need is Dawnstar, but you need to do 5 for each of these randomly. So this changes it. It might have only been 25 jobs randomly in the major cities. They don't always tell you where you're going. The mods, I mean, the sites are bugged. So it is insanely tedious. And I believe I've only done it once or twice. I really have never done a dedicated I'm a thief run through. Where, you know, I set up down here and I live down here and this is my life. You've seen that I am personally offended by getting caught, so, yeah, procedurally, it's just not that much fun for me.
Back with good news, I trust?
I've completed the sweep job.
Amazing what people leave laying around for us to take, isn't it?
Okay.
You think you're finished? I've got plenty more where that came from.
I really dislike you. Okay, Dawnstar and Morthal.
I have work if you've got the backbone. I handle the burglar. If you don't like that kind of work, talk to Delvin. He runs the more up-close and personal jobs.
Northern
plenty.
Shores of the
Take your
Pitfall
pick.
should be Dawnstar.
One of the quickest ways. If you're in, what do you say? Fine. Here's everything you need to know.
Okay, and as you can see, it's a long way in and a long way out. You zone like 3 or 4 times. So imagine doing this, you know, without fast travel. So you take a carriage to a town, you zone into the house, get the stuff, it might or might not work. You might or might not even be in a city that you need to be in. You zone back out. Then you have to zone into Riften, zone into the cistern, zone to find Vex. It's very tedious. It's a lot. So if you're interested in which mod this is, I believe I showed it earlier. I'll show it again. It's called Thieves Guild Requirements. And you can adjust these sliders to, you know, okay, the requirements to begin recruitment down to 0, pockets pick 0. I mean, you can make it as hard, as tedious, or as easy as you like. And I've made it really easy. So my Radiant jobs, Radiant quests, I've set these Markarth, Solitude, Whiterun, and Windhelm. So yeah, there's a lot to change in the Thieves Guild. Take a break and look at the beautiful sky.
God strike you down.
What did I do? Oh, the gods have been trying to strike me down for quite a long while. So.
You, what do you want?
Wow, everybody's here is me. I'm Thane. Come on, guys.
You hear the news? The Emperor has been murdered.
Yeah.
Skyrim.
Yeah.
By the gods.
Terrible times we live in.
Dark Brotherhood can do that. Nobody's safe.
True. Especially with mods. And consoles. Ooh. Yeah, your stuff has to be really good to do this. It's also partly the reason why I just don't, I mean, the home is very cool. The Shadowed Sanctum is very cool. But swimming in the cold with survival is difficult. And that is the fastest way in and out. Beyond that, you have to, again, zone into the cistern, zone into the ragged flagon, and then zone into the home. So you can see, even with like all this content change that I've put in that makes things easier and faster, I have put in 214 hours. Okay, some of these, the jewel goblet, these things are starting to show up. See if I can put it back up now. I'm just gonna drop it. Yeah, these are supposed to stay up on that. It would be nice if this were a static display, but it isn't. I'll have to be more aware of that next time. So as much as I'm also saying, like, murder is a lot of work, theft is just way too much work. When you could make tons of money with alchemy,
If you're looking for extra work,
and nobody's going to arrest you for carrying around red mountain flour.
Back with good news, I trust?
Completed the sweep job.
Here's your gold. Try not to spend it all in one
So
place.
unpleasant.
Okay,
Okay.
what'll it be?
Morthal.
I bet you are. Which one do you want? The owner of this place just got an inheritance. Good. Just remember the order. Do job first,
Fuck.
get drunk second.
Oh, what
Now
a
take this and
bitch. I just... Why would you want to hang out with just thoroughly unpleasant, unfun people?
Things are looking up around here, lass.
Yeah. You're doing all this shit. I think that you could send
Yes,
people
lass.
out to
Did
do
you need something?
No, I'm leaving. See, it's starting to get really cold now. I might be experiencing cold. Yeah, I am chilling. Health regenerates 10% slower. I should not have done that. I'm not stealth.
May the gods watch over your battle, friend.
Oh, thank God you like me. Okay, in theory, when I am done with this, if the mod is working, which we don't know. I've never even really tested this, guys. I haven't done this in years. In theory, now I'm going to take special jobs in I know there's Whiterun and Markarth, some of the main cities.
Back with good news, I trust?
I've completed the sweep job.
You did the job and you did it clean. That's all we ever ask. Enjoy the gold.
You ask me to tolerate no bullshit, like, all the time.
Yeah, threw it in the lake like
Hey,
you
where
said.
do you think you're going? We have work to do.
Okay,
Through the trash
now,
before you did that.
Delvin...
Take it easy, Vekel. How long we known each other? Yeah, I checked it. All the stuff is in the safe.
Okay, now, Delvin should offer me special
some
jobs
gold?
now.
I may have some work for you.
Oh my god. Heard you're offering extra work.
I handled a
my
if
God.
break-ins are more your thing, go talk to Vex.
Oh,
Can I
holy
give you a
shit.
little tip?
It's bugged.
Take every job you get, or else you'll end up a better.
I am frustrated. Okay. I'm gonna accept defeat here. We kinda did that for nothing. Okay, unless I can talk to Brynjolf, and I don't think you have anything to
Yes,
do with
lass.
it.
Did you need something?
How's the
Take a
guild
good
doing?
look around you. Have you ever seen the guild in such a prosperous state? With Mercer Frey gone, and our influence spreading across Skyrim, the guild's earned a new level of respect it hasn't seen in decades. I couldn't be more proud to be part of the Thieves Guild, or its new guildmaster. Eyes open.
Okay, so Thieves Guild requirements is bugged. I'm glad I know this before I'm gonna have to take it out of my lineup. Let me write that down because this should be it. I'm gonna have to see it. I might need... Okay, so my guild jobs log shows that I have done 9. I'm gonna check the leaf blows are outside, so please forgive that. Thieves Guild requirements. Main quest. Alright. I have completed 9 radiant jobs. So the requirements to start the 4th quest, there are none. Radiant quests. Number of radiant jobs required for the safe to appear behind the guildmaster's desk. Yeah, the default is 125. And now it shows as 8. Oh wow. Quest markers. It already has a quest marker location. Okay, I have a separate mod for that, but alright, but I shouldn't be looking at that considering I am thinking of... I'm going to try one more thing. I'm going to zone out and zone back in
Yes,
to
Lars.
see
Did you need
if
something?
that changes anything. But really, I should have gotten the notification that I should speak to Delvin because there are special jobs available now. So the safe should be there.
My sister in crime.
Okay, there it is. Search the safe. There's a bunch of stuff and some money. That was what I was looking for before. Like, where is the... Okay, it's also dark. Business ledger. See, this is just that it's... Okay. From what I understand, business ledgers are being put down when they are just decorative. So, I don't understand them being in lots of places, but this makes me crazy. Okay. I am gonna try to go talk to them again. And other than that, drips. That's kind of cool. Someone fix the structural damage.
If you're looking
Need
for
some
extra
gold?
work, talk to Vex.
I may have some work for you.
I'm gonna exhaust his,
Years ago, the guild used to have a foothold in every major city.
I believe I've done
in
this already,
Skyrim.
though.
You wouldn't dare, wouldn't think it wasn't. By doing these extra jobs and putting some fear into them, thanks to me, the only way we get that special job is by doing smaller ones in those cities until we catch their ear. Then, they'll contact me, and we're off.
Yeah. Yeah.
The only way this guild's gonna continue to grow is by taking extra work.
Okay, so, yeah, you can see that this is, these bays, once you restore the guild, should get filled in with with merchants. So I'm in a bit of a bind in the sense that
Even if you're one of us,
I can't do the modded quest. It's bugged, and I will never do the unmodded quest to restore that, just because it is so fucking tedious. So I'm gonna have to think about that. But it appears as though Thieves Guild requirements is buggy, and if I want to do any content and have the possibility to restore it at all, I need to take it out. And that's a bummer. Okay. Let's start checking the completionist mod. Okay, I've done all of these. I've done all the towns and cities. For the companions, done all the main quests. City, College of Winterhold. Done all the main quests. Let's see what Thieves Guild thinks. Okay, so they're showing the special reputation quests for these cities. So what I might do is choose okay, so I've completed sweep job 8 times. And to get the special reputation quests. Okay, so I need to speak to Vekel. And I'm gonna try picking up another quest for Whiterun. Maybe I'm misunderstanding how Thieves Guild requirement works. Okay. Talk to
It's
Vex.
one thing to say you've got the skills to be a thief. It's another to actually use them. It's been a long time since anyone joined us. Seems like people are in a rush to leave.
Anything you need done around here?
Now that you mention it, there is. I have a buyer with, shall we say, a very odd taste in literature. Looking for some particular books.
What kind of books are they?
I'm told they're the ravings of a madman, a wizard named Arundel.
Oh, I have
and
them.
his peculiar cravings.
Okay.
It's
They've been
said to
hanging
be
out.
spread
Yeah.
across 4 volumes. And
Okay,
very
I got
hard
them.
to come
They're in
by.
my inventory.
My
didn't know
client
what
is
they were
offering
for.
quite a reward for them, which I'd split with you.
I've recovered all of Arondel's journals.
I can't believe it. You have them already? Here, take this. This should cover your end of the work nicely.
Okay. So what's the
I
word?
haven't seen so much celebrating in years. Mercer is dead. We have a new guildmaster, and things are finally looking up. I only hope we can restore the guild to its former glory, after all the damage that's been done.
What are you talking about?
Good day.
Come on. Everyone knows about you and Redjolf.
Well, everyone's wrong. Now why don't you just shut up about
Need
it?
a few spare septums? I got the cure right here.
Ready for some
Okay,
extra work.
what'll it be?
So I'm going to start with Whiterun.
I bet you are. Which one do you want?
Sweet.
You can give this house a once-over. I hear they're fairly well
Okay.
off and probably have
Job's
lots
done,
of good
boss.
stuff.
Gave the package to her just like you
Sound
said.
good?
Good. Did she say anything we need to know?
Yep. She said
Are you in trouble? Is that why you're hiding like that? What are you looking at? I'm not afraid of you, you know, even if you are my elder.
Hello, wonderful
Yeah,
sweethearts.
I knew you'd get it. Gods, I love watching the expressions on her face while she's doing that.
Yeah.
So, when you teleport yourself using this Aelid Waystone, will I be able to come along, or
Oh,
how can I be of service?
is there room there for me?
Aye, as you wish.
Get the lap sitting to work. Okay. It's Spin the camera slowly.
It's a good thing you're cute, or I'd turn you in for that bounty myself.
Yeah. Tell you what, I'll give you 1,000,000 gold so you won't. Huh? I'm not even sure where you're supposed to check to see if you have bounties. Songs of the Return, Volume 24. First tale of Creod Luck. When the time came for breaking of camp, not all crews took southwards across the rolling lands. Some turned with quick eyes back to their ships, for their hearts were bounded to the waves, as sure as they were bounded to each other as allied companions. One such crew was that of Creod Luck, sinewy long folk from the eastern edge of Atmora. Their ruddy skin matched the dawn, and it was often said that morning herself learned her glorious colors from the first faces to meet her at the break of day. The great kine lifted their souls in their wings, propelling them westward with the new lands of Tamriel ever beckoning to the south. In time, these perpetual wanderers came upon sights fearsome and terrible. Entire kingdoms of men beyond their recognition, skin charred like overcooked meat. Elves, even more devious than their northern betrayers, disgraced their horizons until they learned the sheltering ways between. Skin charred like overcooked meat? Is that supposed to be the people from Hammerfell? Great deserts, the likes of which were never known in the homeland, peopled by beasts that spoke like men with the savagery of elves. Many a notable and well-sung companion met his end at the spears of the legged snakes of the southern marsh. Yep, so we're talking Hammerfell, Black Marsh, and Valenwood. Among the brave crew of the Creod Luck were Roth and Bref the Elder, the great shield brothers who often swapped spears, and their war wives, Britta and Grail, the fair child, shield sisters in their own right, who could bring the face of terror across the ice-chilled seas. Together these four stared into the abyss of trees that formed the foul-smelling homeland of the Snake Men, and as they were blessed Atmorans who feared no shore of Tamriel, they ventured forth to seek out their glories in the most dangerous of these new lands. Onward they flew, ravaging the swamplands, beating a trail between themselves and their ship, such that they would never lose sight of the shore. In the far-off day, when the last Roth would fall, when Britta screamed her famed war cry so that all the marshes were emptied, this trail would fill once more with the treacherous Snake Men. So began the burning march of these great captains of us all. Oh, that's horrible. Songs of the Return, Volume 56. Final Tale of Cryan. Songs of the Return are eternal and numerous. For these first 500, these companions of Ysgramor who cleared the way for mankind's rightful habitation, burned with a fire not seen since those days long since past. Each ship carried a crew that performed legendary feats that could feed the pride of any nation for 1,000 years. And during this time of the broadening, scores of companions wandered the land, bringing the light of the proper gods to the heathen land of elves and beasts. They were but mortal, though, and in time all would taste the glories of Sovngarde. It was in one of the uncounted years after the retaking of Sarthal that the crew of the Cryan was declaring their fortunes in the eastern lands near the Red Mountain. They were encamped, surrounded by bodies of murderous elves that had attempted to make them believe they held peace in their hearts. The shrewd Rorlak was the Cryan's captain, though, and would show no quarter to the liars of the Southlands, as had been commanded by his lord Ysgramor, harbinger of us all. It was in this state of carousing that they were approached by a young and breathless messenger of their sister crew from the Kalkaz. The boy, Aesgir, as his name is now sung, had run unimaginable distance at breakneck speed from the blood-stained fields of the clouded sun to deliver the news to all that would hear. When he reached their camp, he bellowed a great sob before relieving his heart with the news that the mighty Ysgramor had breathed his last. Aesgir continued his swift run to inform the other crews as quickly as they could. He found, for there were many now crawling the land, rendering our legacy from their deeds, and the camp of the Cryan descended into a mourning of the most forlorn sort. Even those fires sat the bravest. Among these fires sat the bravest men and fiercest women that have ever graced the dirt of this land, and they were brought low by such a notion. While we in the day shine know only Ysgramor's glory as it gleams through history, these companions knew his might with their own eyes, and such a loss hangs so heavily on the heart that mere words cannot express the altering of their world. For indeed the stories tell that Rorlak, the most battle-hardened and unflinching of all captains, did collapse with grief, and never lifted again his mighty axe. And all around Tamriel, as the news spread as a dark cloud washes from horizon to horizon, the brilliant lights go out in silent honor of their fallen generals and war leader. So ended the period of the return, and the original glories of the 500 companions of Ysgramor, harbinger of us all. I didn't sleep for long enough. So now I gotta sleep for longer. Then I'm gonna be really hungry. But I'm pretty sure I got enough food. Apple pie and wine morning, folks. Thieves Guild is making me tired.
Something I can help with, or do you just want to talk?
Oh, and you're just a nice guy. I'm sorry I can't find out where your name's coming from. Maybe I can. Let me look it up. It's probably cut content.
Back with good news, I trust?
Completed the sweep job.
Here's your gold. Try not to spend it all in one place. Don't give up now. There's plenty of loot out there just
Looking
right
for
the
work.
taking.
What's the matter? Afraid to get your hands dirty?
I have work if you've got the backbone. Okay, what'll it be? I bet you are. Which one do you want? Got a message from one of my people that this place just came into some coin. Should be a good target. Ready for some work, or are you just gonna wander?
I keep forgetting
Okay,
to accept
what'll it be? Good. We could use the
trying to
coin.
make Vex talk as quickly as possible.
The owner of this
Listen
place
as
just
little
got
as
an
possible.
inheritance from a relative. Fine. Here's everything you need to know.
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
Good to see you again, Frank. Need something?
Huh?
Okay, it looks like there's no quest associated. Yeah, it looks like it's cut content. There's no associated quest, and the lore is conflicting. Some people have decided it looks like maybe he came in on the orphan's tier, so it was named after him. But I'm assuming this is cut content.
Come to chat with an old woman.
Oh my god, I'm going back to poor Amron's house. Hi. It's nice to know that...
Excuse me, but I'm trying to read.
Okay. Nice to know that this stuff, you know, respawns. Now, when I've done enough for one city, I should actually get a prompt that tells me I should speak to... keep wanting to say Devlin, but it's Delvin. There's supposed to be baths in here. I haven't found them. I said if there are. I don't really know. I don't remember which I might have to put JK's in. I don't know if this is JK's. I think it is. It usually includes, or they? I don't know if JK is a girl or a boy.
Even if you're one of us, you better not make trouble.
Or here is in deep. Can't go swimming.
I don't care if you're best buddies with the guildmaster. I'll still
should be able to just click on the... Yep, JK's the Ragged Flagon. Okay.
Out with it. Time is money. Here's your gold. But I need to spend it all in one place. Walking away without taking a job is like passing a bloated coin purse on a table.
Good to see you, lass. How are things?
Still have quite a good bit of jobs available, if you're looking for some extra coin.
Okay, the idea of
Can I
doing
give
this
you a
like
little
15
tip?
more times or however more it takes, it's going to be at least... Yeah,
I
I've already gone about this the wrong way. I'll have to consider coming back, but just imagine that I did that. It's so annoying. And I believe I'm going to put that in the same category as doing the Civil War. It's just so insanely tedious. Alright. I am going to go to Solstheim. Going to get as far away from the Thieves Guild as I can.
If you're looking for passage, talk to Captain Jowly.
Talk to Captain Jowly.
Okay, there's like no place to bathe around here, so I'll just get swept. I'm gonna go get the Black Book first, in case that's a place. This will be my last Black Book. Already got the Agma Infinitum, or Infinitum. I just need to make a copy of it. I think it's Agma, but since I've played so much Dragon Age, of course I'm thinking Ogren. Looks like some shit's gone down already here. Lots of dead people. I'm not sure I know the point of that half bridge, but maybe I can come back that way. Nasty. I don't remember the story about them, why they're all yellow, infected by these spiders kind of thing, but that was just a jar and I shot it with an arrow. At least I didn't miss. This is the place that has like the spider forge in it. I have no interest in. Note to self, don't summon and poison an arrow before teleporting to the punch. I don't know what that sound is. like acid rain in here. Taking lots of damage. It's that weird sound loop. It's hurting me. Yeah, I'm not sure that I can see an effect. I don't have any negative effects, but I am taking damage every second. Seeing that I can get across. Okay, there we go. Go quickly and jump. It sounds like windshield wipers in here, I swear. Right, Bo? It's annoying, isn't it? Hey, that's just about surviving poison damage. Or whatever it was. Seeker of Shadows. Stealth skills are all 10% more effective. You may only accept one ability. Okay. Spells cost 10% more less magicka. No, I want shadows. I already know. Don't want the warrior. Okay, if this is the location for the forge, which I'm not really going to take advantage of, I know a lot of people really enjoy it, and a lot of people have done a great deal more content. Understanding on that, I'm not really going to be delving into it, but I think people have done like what they call a no damage playthrough. There's really like niche playstyles, and one of them is like only using these spiders to do damage as a challenge, and one of the others is never running or moving, but only moving forward by punching things. So down there is a whole bunch of new types of stone. I don't remember this content very well. I'm assuming this is where the forge is, where you can make different types of spider bombs. Okay, so that's probably a quick way back in to use the forge, unless I'm wrong and this isn't the forge. Who knows? I'm not sure what kind of stone that is. It's just giving me rubies. Back to the drawing board. Okay. Oh, and all my stuff is... Yeah, the imbuing chamber, the imbuing switch. Let me see if I can use rain shelter. Grab that stuff. I believe you can create one of these imbuing chambers at the Legacy of the Dragonborn Museum once you have discovered this. Supplies. So I need building materials, ingots, and ore. Charcoal and iron hinges. Oh wow. Yeah, there is no like no pocket forge in here or anything. Okay, I need a smelter to make the other stuff. I tell you, I can make one for camping and put it down. Oh, I need a bellows. Can I make a bellows? Okay, I can grab leather, and I should be able to make a bellows. Okay. Okay, check supplies, grab the leather. This is why I like carrying everything around with me, because you never know when you're going to need it, but... you mean I don't have leather? Ah, did I not grab the right stuff? I did not grab the right stuff. Okay. Okay. Bellows. Smelter. So I need 2 iron hinges. I might need an anvil for that, but I don't recall. Okay, let's see if I can make an anvil with what I have. Looks like it. Ooh, I'm lucky I happen to have a hammer with me. Let's make some hinges. Okay. Thank you, camping. Thank you, Legacy the Dragonborn. Were able to help me solve a ridiculous problem in-game. Okay, so now I need to... Found some plans for a curious spot. Oh, so this is... this is making it at the museum. So that's what I was doing. Alright, there might be a book to explain this in my inventory. Recipe, exploding flame spider. Ruby gem, damaged albino spider pod. Okay, so I should have plenty of those in my inventory. So you can, I haven't really messed around with this, but look at all of these recipes. Okay. So they will do different types of damage. I think they work like traps or mines. You put them on the ground and they either hunt or are stepped on. So it's essentially the same abilities that you could get through spells. They are just turned into items in your inventory. Spider experiment notes. I've only tried a few combinations, but things look promising. Here's what I've discovered so far. Okay, so here are the recipes. Ruby plus damaged pod equals exploding flame spider. Looking at the results, it seems as though the purity of the gem could enhance the imbuing process in some unforeseen way. Perhaps if I could get my hands on a flawless ruby. I've also theorized that if we were to mix most any of the ingredients in the previous experiments, a new discovery is likely to be made. Upon further inspection of both a diamond and a garnet, it seems they don't contain the necessary power required. I know for a fact that a ruby works, as seen in my previous experiments. Next, I'll see how the reaction works with an amethyst, emerald, or even a sapphire. There must be other types of spiders out there. Who knows what other kind of imbuing process has taken place? We best keep our eyes open. The source of the interactions will most likely be nearby, whatever new species we find. Okay, so if I put... No, that's not what I meant to do. If I put stuff in the chamber. So let's give it a flawless ruby and a spider pod. Well, let's just start with regular ruby, which I've been getting here. Regular ruby and albino spider pod. So you can see I've got about 30 of those in my inventory now since I've been auto-looting. And this should give me a flame spider. Hit the switch. So jumping flame spider 3 added. Okay, yeah, they work like scrolls. Tosses a jumping fighter spider on the ground that will launch itself at nearby enemies and explode if it lands near them. So, yeah, okay. And I never really got into this because it seems like a lot of collection of materials for shit that you could do, you know, on your own. Otherwise, a bunch of rubies in here, a bunch of mining you can do. And this will respawn. You can come back and gather materials to make more. But, yeah, I don't care, guys. That to me is, it's like the Ash Guardians. Okay, so you have a bigger pet, but yeah, that was a jumping frostbite, if you wanted an experience. Uh-oh, I might be locked. Oh no, there we go. So there's different, but not better. I imagine it might be better in a roleplay sense. But it's essentially spell crafting and switching items to use scrolls instead of spells. Speak to Nella. So I believe that's the last of the black books. Just from looking at the displays in the museum. I hear you, my wonderful bantam guar. Let me use my wonderful new light to find you. And say hello. Hello, darling. You're the best. Ooh, I love that light. I am so happy with that. I have the black book.
Excellent. I'll just make a copy for myself. It's far too dangerous to carry the real book around. Of course you can handle yourself. Of course you can. Of course. Now, take this for your efforts, and we'll call the matter closed.
Can I help with your research?
I do have a new spell I'm working on. I hope to be able to conjure ash spawn. If I could get a sample of ash from an ash spawn, that would be quite useful. I've made this special tool that will extract... Well, you don't need to know the details. Just go harvest a sample. Of course, the creature will have to be dead first, but I trust that's something you can bring about.
Okay, I think this is, these are just radiant quests, like the Azura Stabs. I believe I'm done with Tel Mithrin. Check. Okay, yeah, these are side quests. Oh, okay. The new debt is actually helping Jolvus, so you can pay Mogul. Alright, I'll do that. I'd be happy to pay Mogul. He helped me. Okay. Yeah, look at all the dungeons I still have to do. The available side quests I can do. I'm not going to be doing Radiant. Okay. Okay, Alien Crossroads, I need to probably withdraw or find Vaults of Deepholm, travel to Deepholm, Price of Vigilance. So yeah, there's quite a bit. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot. Okay, after this, I need to return to Legacy of the Dragonborn Museum because I'm just carrying too much stuff and I need to sort it out, or literally sort it out into storage, or I'm just going to be lagged forever.
Good day, friend. Doing well?
There's still quite a bit. In Soul's Time 2, I have to collect the Forge gems. I have to collect the gems of Kagramez. So although my quest log is empty, there's still a lot. So I'll read some books, take a nap, and sort things. Souls in Modern Praxography. A commentary on contemporary conjuration theory. Finis Gestor and Sergius Tyrannius. College of Winterhold, 4E200. Vaniscalarian stratification of magic into the 6 classical schools formed the theoretical groundwork for all subsequent magical research. a latticework on which to hang ideas, theories, and discoveries. However, counterintuitively, recent advances in magical theory have not been espoused by increased magic ability and performance amongst practitioners and students. In fact, by providing yet further unsynthesized information to be memorized, students' performance has diminished. Far from its esoteric roots, mainstream conjuration presently comprises an inelegant body of mutually exclusive theories, approximations, and exceptions, which restricts the development of an intuitive understanding of conjuration to the academically inclined, despite the fact that an academic inclination does not always coincide with magical talent. The result is that while formal students of most magical schools possess a breadth of theoretical knowledge, they are often in practice outclassed by informal practitioners such as Daedra worshippers or even independent enthusiasts. This calls for a paradigm shift in the teaching and execution of magical theory. Such a shift within the school of conjuration at least could be elicited by streamlining soul theory, which has become infamous for its increasing incomprehensibility as new observations are clumped together without synthesis. Soul trapping was of the main strategies probably one. Soul trapping was one of the main strategies used to stem the Daedra hordes during the Oblivion Crisis of 3E 433. Banishment was and remains only a temporary measure, but so long as a soul gem remains intact, the animus cannot be reincarnated by its prince. The widespread practicing of soul trapping led to a renaissance in the understanding of this art and an exponential expansion of the literature. The obsolete school of mysticism is nowadays recognized as a subdiscipline of conjuration, dealing with enchantments tied to a caster's own soul as opposed to the souls of others. This reconceptualization is attributed to the late Olin Saren, who set the theoretical groundwork for this focal principle. Crucially, the focal principle suggests that mysticism and conjuration are not separate schools of magic, but different applications of the same school. Thus, findings emerging from modern praxography do not support the rigid taxonomy of Galarian. Only with the dissolution of the archaic Mages Guild, whose greatest turbulence was the ostracization, that's a tough word, of necromancy, was this revolutionary heresy recognized. Evidence in support of the focal principle, which would provide a coherent and unified theory of conjuration, would be brought about in investing in various research directions. It is common knowledge that the soul of a body can only be trapped at the very point of death, or not at all, the all or nothing principle. Success depends only upon the skill of the practitioner versus the magnitude of the soul. If this soul is not trapped upon death, then reanimation gives a second opportunity. However, a corpse whose soul has been trapped and the soul spent can still be reanimated. It is therefore noted that reanimating energies do not manipulate the soul, which begs whether living mortals are piloted by the soul and whether they possess such a discrete entity at all. One theory is that the energy that soul trapping spells capture is in fact proportional to the maximum magical capacity of the body in question. Concordantly, it is noted that more powerful magical practitioners have more potent souls that must be housed in larger gems. Although this observation may be conflating several variables and is therefore contentious, to investigate this magica capacity hypothesis, it would therefore be necessary to determine whether the administration of poisons, which temporarily diminish magica capacity, would allow a given soul to be captured by a smaller gem than normal. Conversely, it is necessary to investigate whether potions, which temporarily increase magica capacity, necessitate the use of larger soul gems than normal. In challenging the existence of a discrete soul, these studies may shake the majority of Tamrielic religions to their core and necessitate thorough reevaluation and reinterpretation of key scriptures, as well as create an unwelcome theoretical schism between theologians and mages. Pending the results of research on the magica capacity hypothesis, the corollary avenue of research involves pinpointing the locus of the soul, magica reservoir in the body. If it exists, if a limb is severed before death, is part of the soul contained separately in the limb or not? If casting soul trap before or after dismemberment affects the magnitude of the soul, this would suggest that a portion of the soul does exist within the limb and that a being's essence is evenly or unevenly distributed through the body. This notion is already accepted by healers and practitioners of restoration who manipulate magica along bodily pathways referred to as meridian lines to elicit various regenerative effects. If, however, soul trapping before or after dismemberment does not affect the magnitude of the soul, this implies that it either relegates to or exists at a specific corporeal focus. By process of elimination, this focus may be identified. We call upon individual researchers, centers of learning, and independent practitioners alike to now question these aspects of Galarianic doctrine, which have become impedant. Oh, and I would probably rather say an impedance, but impedant if you are a real word, does fit. I just don't like it. And to adopt a more integrated approach to magical learning with an eye toward synthesis, unification, and collaboration between schools. Sovngarde, a re-examination. By Beredit Jastal. Speculation regarding Sovngarde, the Nordic Hall of Valor. Death, is it something we all face? It is something we all face, or do we? Just ask the nearest Nord what he thinks of the end of life, and you'll likely be treated to a horrific story of blood, bone, and viscera, of courageous deeds and heartbreaking sorrow. Carnage notwithstanding, there may be even more to death than the average Nord warrior realizes. New evidence suggests a life beyond the battlefield, where a valiant Nord may live forever, downing mead and engaging in contests of strength and skill. But in order to fully understand the possibility of a Nord's eternal life after death, one must first re-examine the legends surrounding that most wondrous of warriors' retreats, Sovngarde. According to the ancient writings and oral traditions of the Nords, going back as far as the late Merethic era, there exists a place so magnificent, so honored, that the entrance lies hidden from view. Sovngarde, it is called, built by the god Shor to honor those Nords who have proven their mettle in war. Within this hall of valor, time as we know it has no meaning. The concepts of life and death are left on the doorstep, and those within exist in a sort of self-contained euphoria, free of all pain, suffering, and the worst malady a Nord could suffer, boredom. But just how well hidden the entrance to Sovngarde is has been a matter of much scholarly debate, and there are those who believe Shor's Great Hall is just a myth, for there are no actual accounts from Nords who have experienced the wonders of Sovngarde, then returned to tell the tale. Not that this has stopped anyone from looking. Some Nords spend a lifetime searching for the mysterious hidden entrance to Sovngarde. Most return home sad and broken, their hearts heavy with failure. They'll never know the pleasure of a mead flagon that never empties, or a wrestling tournament without end. What, some may ask, does the entrance to Sovngarde have to do with death? Everything, according to a series of ancient parchments recently discovered in the attic of a deceased Nord's home in Cyrodiil. What at first seemed to be a series of love letters was later found to be a correspondence between one Felga Forefingers, a medium of some note, and the ghost of a Nord warrior named Rolf the Large. According to the parchments, Rolf had spent his entire life searching for the entrance to Sovngarde without success. He was returning home to his village in Skyrim when he was waylaid by a band of giants. Rolf fought bravely, but was quickly killed, and the giants proceeded to play catch with his head. Amazingly, all of this was seen by Rolf in ghostly form as he drifted away from the scene, soaring upwards into the heavens, where he finally arrived in the magnificent hall of Sovngarde. Rolf could not believe his good fortune, and his foolishness for not having realized the truth so many years before. For death was the entrance to Sovngarde, so he was told by Shor himself. Okay, so let me do the sentences again. For death was the entrance to Sovngarde, so he was told by Shor himself, who greeted Rolf the Large as a brother, and personally handed him a leg of roast mutton and the hand of a comely wench. Sovngarde, Shor told him, can be entered by any Nord who dies valiantly in honorable combat. It's time for Nords to learn the truth. Eternal life can be theirs without the need to spend an entire mortal life in vain pursuit. Eternal life can be theirs without the need to spend an entire mortal life in vain pursuit of something completely unattainable. In the end, all valiant Nords can enter Sovngarde. Dismemberment, decapitation, or evisceration seems a small price to pay for the chance to spend an eternity in Shor's wondrous hall. And here's me, really annoyed at the fact that they're handing out comely wenches in Sovngarde. Ugh, just gross, guys, come on. Thanks for watching. Wishing you found family, creative hobbies, a hot bath after a long day, and food you love as much as Saleya loves apple pies.